Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be talking about something that Sam Howell did against the Broncos that no other Washington quarterback has ever done. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, that notification bell as well. I'm 10 subscribers away from 11,500, so go ahead and do it. It's free. Also check out BetUS and Mojo giving away a jersey on Mojo. Alright, so we all know Sam Howell had a really good day against the Denver Broncos, 27 for 39. 299 passing yards, one away from 300, had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 108.8 passer rating. Also had like 13 rushing yards. Had a really good day, but something that Commanders, Twitter account put out today really surprised me. So the Washington Commanders had 9 players with 2+ receptions. That is the first time that has ever happened in franchise history, and that is, something that Sam Howell gets credit for, and Eric Bieniemy. Both of those guys, I would say 50-50. And after the game yesterday, I even talked about, I wish Jahan got, some more targets. But then looking back at it, they distributed the ball. They spread the wealth, like the tweet is saying, and that really worked out. So, yeah, do I think John Bates needs to have 5 targets every game? No. But him getting a couple targets, or Cole Turner, I think Cole Turner should be getting some more targets. That doesn't matter. I liked that they got, Dyami Brown involved. Let's look at it real quick and see, what guys got how many targets. Let's just muting that real quick. But McLaurin had 5 catches. John Bates 3 on 5 targets. Gibson had 3 catches. Brian Robinson had 2 catches. Dyami had 3 catches. 2 of them, I think, on Patrick Surtain. Maybe 3, but at least 2 of them. Logan Thomas had 2 catches and a touchdown before he got hurt. Jahan with 3. Cole Turner with 2. Curtis Samuel with 3. And Byron Pringle with 1. So that's, I guess, 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 guys that got a reception, and 9 of them that got 2 receptions. In comparison, the Broncos had 6 guys that got 2 receptions and 7 guys total that got receptions. So really, really good job of not only Sam Howell getting it to all these guys, but also Eric Bieniemy calling those plays, because it both have to work together for this to happen. Eric Bieniemy can scheme everything up he wants and, have certain guys be the number one on that play, the number one look, but Sam Howell also has to execute and get it to those guys. So I really like that they're spreading the ball around. I think last year, for example, they didn't get the ball enough to, someone like Dyami Brown. I don't think Brian Robinson's going to get 40 receiving yards every week or even 2 catches, but I think he'll get, a reception or 2 a week probably. Gibson, I think they should, try to get this number up. I mean, he has 3 catches for 44 yards. So maybe try to get that up a little bit to 4 or 5 or maybe 4 receptions, 44 yards. That's a lot. 15 yards a catch. It's not going to happen a lot, but overall they distributed the ball really, really well. And I forgot to say, but after this, also going to go over some PFF grades of some guys. But back to the record that Sam Howell set. It's not an NFL record, but it's a franchise record. So out of all the quarterbacks and offensive coordinators, this is the first duo to be able to do it, to get this done. And it's not huge, it's not like something 50+ passing touchdowns, but it is something that shows they're making progress, spreading the wealth around. And it's something okay, Dyami Brown didn't get much many targets last year. He got 1 game where he had a few targets and got almost all of his receiving yards on the season. After that, they didn't really involve him, and I hope it doesn't happen, knock on wood, but if one of the top 3 receivers goes down, Terry went down in the preseason, at some point we thought maybe he was going to miss a game, maybe 2. Well, now, if that does happen again, hopefully it doesn't happen, you got Dyami Brown, who's been getting some reps and got some catches, and he'll be more, ready to go in and, take, Curtis Samuel or whoever's out, their place. I think that is also good. And then, all the tight ends got 2+ receptions this game. Cole Turner, Logan Thomas, and John Bates. And part of that is because Logan Thomas went out. I think John Bates, you probably want him to be more of a blocking tight end. And I really think that you should try to transition some of those targets from John Bates to Cole Turner as he gets better. I mean, week 1, Bates didn't get any targets. So I really do think it's because Logan went out. But I do think Cole Turner really showed some, has showed some promise in the first couple games. I think, it's only 30, 40 yards that he's had combined, but it's already basically what he had last year. and it's in 2 games, and he's been very efficient. I think 3 targets, he's gotten 3 catches for around 30-40 yards, and that's pretty good. And I think he needs to be used a little bit more. Like, I love how they used him in the screen game because he is pretty quick for a tight end, and he was able to get 9 yards on that play. So I hope Eric Bieniemy starts to use him more, and that specific screen was amazing. I talked about it in yesterday's video, but like, they had the guy on the right, I can't remember who it was. They kind of Sam Howell looked there, faked to him. I don't think he did a pump fake, but he just looked at him, and then there was Robinson in the flat, and then they threw it to Cole Turner in the kind of in between Robinson and the line, and that was just, I love that play design. I really, really loved it. And let's see, there was a clip I wanted to show from Sam Howell in this game, just to give you guys a little bit of visual about, that just absolute dime to John Bates, right there, and John Bates able to hold on. And John Bates did have a drop in this game, and he also missed a block, but overall he was solid. I mean, 3 catches for 46 yards for him that doesn't happen a lot. So shout out to John Bates for stepping up a little bit and had that huge catch at the end of the first half. That was a lot of momentum there, getting an extra field goal. And I think at that point, you got it down to 14-21 at halftime. That was absolutely huge. Real quick, a word from our sponsor. And a huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. BetUS is the leading online sports betting company, and you have so many different sports you can bet on. You can bet on the NFL, which is going on right now. You can bet on baseball. You can bet on soccer with the Champions League. You can bet on NBA. Anything you want, you can bet on there. And the Washington Commanders are going to be playing the Buffalo Bills this Sunday at 1 p.m. And currently, the Buffalo Bills are favored by 6.5, even though it is at home for the Commanders and it is in front of a sellout crowd. So if you think the Commanders are going to win, you can make a decent amount of money betting on them to win. Or if you think they're going to cover, you can go ahead and bet on them to cover. If you use my link in the description, you get 125% first time deposit match. So if you put in 100, you'll get $250 back. It's a great deal, and it'll give you some money to play with. So yeah, check it out and bet responsibly. Okay, so we're back. So overall, just a really good job by Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell to get the game plan right, to spread it around to people, and then for Sam Howell to actually get it to those guys. And he was very efficient, and everybody ate, which is great. So no one's going to be upset. Maybe Jahan, or maybe, not Terry, because he had a good game, but maybe Jahan's a little upset. He only got 3 catches, but he did get 5 targets. So I think eventually those yards will come, but getting guys like Diami, Cole Turner involved, even Byron Pringle, he had a catch. It gets these guys involved and everybody's satisfied. But there are certain guys I wish got targeted more or less, but overall I really like what they're doing, and I hope it continues. So let's talk about some other things, including long snappers. So the Washington Commanders will be sticking with Cameron Cheeseman for at least this week. If he does bad, I would not, there's no way he's going to be back if he has a bad snap this week. It just can't happen, because this is what I was thinking about during the game. Not only if you do a bad snap, obviously, it messes up the operation. Tressway has to clutch up, which he has, and then Joey Slye has to make the kick. But now it's in Tressway's head. Okay, maybe there's going to be a bad snap. And the worst thing is it is in Joey Slye's head. Okay, I might have to stop or slow down because of a bad snap. And that shouldn't be in his head. It really should not be. So that's something I don't like, but hopefully Cameron Cheeseman gets his stuff together. I don't know why he switched techniques. It wasn't like he was amazing, but he was good enough. We didn't really notice it too much. So I don't know, man. I don't know why he did that, but hey, he's got to clutch up. This is a huge week for him. You shouldn't notice long snappers. So hopefully we don't have to talk about Cameron Cheeseman next week. Just say, okay, he didn't make a mistake. Let's talk about some PFF grades. Did a short YouTube short on studs and duds, but for the highest graded players, Deron Payne had a really good game, 86. Sadiq Charles had an 83 overall grade. I thought he played well, the eye test showed me that, and hey, it ended up being true. Was really good out in space and didn't really allow much pressure. Logan Thomas had a good grade and was limited, again, only played less than half the game. Brian Robinson was a dog, a 77 PFF grade, and Chase Young, 76. Sorry about that. I think that if he didn't have those 2 penalties, he probably would have had like an 85 because he had a 15-yard penalty and a 5-yard penalty. Those penalties really bring you down. And Sam Howell had a 70.4 overall grade, which I would think it's a little bit, I would think it's higher than that. Again, though, a 70 on PFF is like above average. So I would probably say he's like a 78, 79, maybe even 80, which 80 is really good for PFF. But they gave him a 70. It is what it is. I believe Emmanuel Forbes was the second, worst player in terms of grade on the Commanders with I think it was a 36 overall grade. He had an up and down game, had a nice pick, had a nice read on the ball, but also gave up a big play to, Mims, not the touchdown, but like a 55-yard pass, gave up some other passes as well, gave up the pass to Cortland Sutton at the end of the game, which I thought was out of bounds, and a couple others also had a pass interference, and the Hail Mary, he should have tried to bat that down, but he went up for it and went through his hands. But the growing pains with the rookie, I think he'll be fine, but that's something to mention. Cody Barton also didn't have a great game. There was someone else I forgot that did not have a good day at all. Benjamin St. Juste and Kendall Fuller had good days, and Percy Butler was the lowest graded defender. I just remembered. But man, overall, a really good day for the Commanders, and shout out to some of these guys that had a good game. Other guys that did. Montez Sweat, Terry McLaurin had a good game as usual. And, I thought Sam Cosmi was solid. Nick Gates was solid, sticking up for his teammates. And, yeah, man, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. And, if you want a chance to win a Jahan Dotson or not Curtis Samuel, or a Sam Howell signed jersey or some tickets, comment down below or sign up to Mojo and use my code Pedro, capital P and then lowercase EDRO. And, yeah, sign up. Peace, guys.